I would say that the time to take Tesla leaps, barring the actual market, right? So, barring the idea of when do we hit bottom, would be when the Twitter deal is done one way or the other. That's when I would take it if I was a believer in it. Because you're right. It's still way overvalued to a lot of people out there, but it's still undervalued to others. So there's always going to be buyers in it. But so many investors are worried about fucking with it while Elon is spreading himself so thin, is dumping, billions of shares to whether it's to raise private equity or to do whatever. There's a lot right now, and it appears that, it looks like at this point, I'm not saying this is what happened, but the more he does this stuff, the more it looks like he's manipulating stocks and large portions of the market for his own personal gain. And if he continues to do these things, it's going to give him that bad image. And once he becomes the same billionaire guy that isn't the cool guy anymore, so much of that credibility and people buying because of him goes away. And I'm not saying that people aren't going to buy. I'm talking about that cult following he has. And he could ruin it. Remember, it's always about, it's like legging out of a position, right? You're making money, it's going well, and you just don't leg out. You don't have a stop loss. The next thing you know, you lose everything. And Elon is, in my personal opinion, moving to that, whether it's intentionally or not unintentionally. And he's getting to the point where he's starting to lose that appeal that he's always had. And we talked about it before. I did it on my podcast, how it's funny how when Bezos was the richest guy in the world, we were all about tax the rich and, fuck these people and these billionaires and eat the rich and evil, whatever. Then when they flipped and Elon became the richest person in the world, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, it's cool. Yeah, Elon, you're right. We don't want to tax you. Oh, you're so cool. Oh, it's awesome. Because he's relatable and he's the guy that everybody wants to be, it's so cool and everybody will do that. But the moment you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right? And he's on track to do that right now. So he either needs to roll it back, or people are going to go from your memes are funny to you're fucking annoying and you cost me money. Everybody loves you when you're rich, you're awkward, you're funny, and you're making them money. But the second you start fucking with people's money and they think that you're the reason why they're losing money, you're not cool anymore. And so this Twitter debacle, whether he backs out of it or it goes through, is going to be a big deal. And this back and forth makes a lot of Tesla shareholders a little bit weary of holding on to it anymore, because he's now spread between 5 different companies and all of his attention is on Twitter right now. He's already announced that he's going to be the temporary CEO there. So if you're invested in a company and you're invested in the man behind the company as well as the company, and you think he's not going to have full attention, or he's going to be too spread thin, or the decision making is going to be different or whatever, it could cause you to be like, you know what, I've made 1,000% on this. I think I'm going to walk. And that could cause more selling. He can't back out of it. He can. It'll just cost him a lot of money. All he has to do is sow enough doubt that there are more bots than Twitter said there were, which there's no way to prove almost. And then all of a sudden it's a breach of contract. And if it costs him only $1 billion, I mean, the man has $200 billion. $1 billion is not even his that he's going to lose on if he backs out. Plus, he can go into arbitration and appeal it, and it could take years before it even happens. His argument is much weaker than he makes it out to be. I'm not saying what he's doing. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the details of it. You don't either. Okay? We don't know the actual details of that contract and what's going on. I'm just throwing theoreticals out there. Tubbs and Tourniquet, my 2 little SPAC Nation guys, I get it. I'm not saying a fact here. Okay? I'm not giving out this is absolutely guaranteed. I'm just throwing theoreticals out there. Regardless, the answer to the guy's question was, when should I take it? My answer is, I don't know. Market's volatile. I don't know what the future is. But if it was me and I was dead set on taking leaps, I would wait until the Twitter deal either goes through officially or is backed out of officially. That's all.